Hi, it's Cheryl. Welcome to Home Rich Studio. Today's video is part of the Imagination Challenge, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. But right now, I have 3 fall DIYs to share with you. Here's my first piece, and the first challenge item is a book. Here's some pieces that I pulled from my stash. I have some ribbon, a book from the Dollar Tree. The ribbon was from Michael's. I got it last year. Some pumpkins and some stems, some flower pieces, some pit berries. I have some leaves. I cut a piece of cardboard out from a box, a thicker cardboard that needs to be larger than the book. And then this is just a back of a notepad that I pulled out. You're going to need one that is the little bit bigger than the book or the same size. I'm going to make this the same size, and this is going to be our template. And I'm just folding this down, and I'm going to cut off that excess. So you're going to see what we're going to do in a minute, but we're going to cut out the center of the book. Now I'm just deciding how big I want to cut out the center of the book. I believe I came down 3 inches and up 3 inches, and the sides I came in about 2.5 inches. I'm putting little dots there, and then I'm going to just connect the dots and draw a square. And I'm going to cut it out by folding it in half, and then I realized I treated myself to a new tool. These Fiskars stick rotary cutter. I needed something really sharp, so I bought those for myself. I'm sorry, I don't remember how much they were. I believe I got them from Michael's. But yeah, this was the perfect piece because I used this for my whole entire thing, and I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just kind of giving you some information here of what they are, what I'm using. So now we take this template, and I have about 30 pages in the front of the book that I don't use. So I kind of went 30 pages in, and then I drew a square using that template. I went about 15 pages. I counted 15 pages. And then I put that thick cardboard down underneath 15 pages, and now I'm cutting that out. Now this is not going to be perfect. This is the first time I've ever done this. I watched a couple videos of people doing this. It took me a little while to really get the hang of this. And I also would use pencil and not marker. But you're not going to see this because we're going to put a flower arrangement in the middle of this. I'll do this a few more times so you can watch and see. But about the 3rd time, I finally figured it out. So again, put the template down. Mark your area, count 15 pages, put the cardboard below it, and then cut it out, and I'll do it again. And by the way, I just want to thank you, all of my subscribers. You guys are amazing. You are absolutely the best. I love all of your comments. I love to hear from you. All your likes and shares. All this support helps me out tremendously, so thank you so much. And if you're not a subscriber, click that subscription button and the bell notification and join my family. It's totally free, and it helps me out a ton. And then when I post a new video, you will be notified. So now I'm hot gluing the front cover and the first couple pages, the back cover and the last couple pages, and I'm hot gluing it here and there just to give the book some stability, but we are going to Mod Podge it. And so now I am just taking some antique wax, and I put a bunch of water in there. I have my little spray bottle there, and I'm just making this look really old and really worn. I even tore, if you can see it there, I tore a little bit of the cover on both sides, and I'm just staining the entire thing. So the top, the bottom, the side, and the inside. Now I have some Mod Podge, and I'm putting a really thick layer on this to get the pages to stick together. I mean, I think it's okay if you have a couple pages here and there that are not stuck together, but for the most of it, you're going to want all of it stuck together. And then now I put a couple clips in there to hold them so the pages that don't have the cutout don't stick to the cutout area. And so I don't know how deep I went in cutting this. I want to say probably about 3 inches. It just depends, you know, on how thick and how full you want your flowers. And now I have this napkin. It's from Marshall's. It was $3.99 for a big pack. No, it was $4.99. And I pulled the plies away, and now I just ran my little paintbrush, water brush tube thing here around it. You can use a paintbrush. And I'm just going to pull away and kind of tear and rip all of the edges around here, because this is going to be on the cover of the book. Set that aside, and now I have the color Ivory in the Waverly chalk paint, and I'm going to paint the entire book. Now, for the purpose of this video, I didn't paint the back, but I do go in later and paint it. When that's dry, I just take some Mod Podge and I put it on the front, and then I put my napkin down here, and I let it go right off the side. I put a coat of Mod Podge on top of that to seal it in. Make sure you get the edges really well. And then when that's not completely dry, but still a little damp, I went in with this plastic wrap and I'm just smushing all of those lines and wrinkles out of that. And then when that's completely dry, I'm taking the antique wax and I'm just going to go around the outside of this, because it will hide that very obvious line between the napkin and the book. And then I distress the whole book. I took a baby wipe and I just cleaned it up a little bit. And when that's dry, I open the book and I put some floral foam down there, and now, no rhyme or reason, I'm just putting these flowers in however I liked them, bunching them up. I think this pick is from Ollie's, but I know the Dollar Tree has these too. You know, I popped in a pumpkin or two, and that's it. Now you can take ribbon and you can put a piece of ribbon in there like a bookmark. You could also take the ribbon and put a piece on the side or the spine of the book. I think that would look really pretty. I left mine plain. Here's what it looks like. And the floral arrangement next to that is from a previous thrift flip road trip video. If you like that, go ahead and check out my previous video, or 2 videos ago actually. And now I'm going to tell you about this. Just Our Imagination is a monthly challenge in which 3 challenge items are chosen by the hosts, and all of us crafters are to make something using these special items. This month's items are a book, a plastic sink or bath mat, and wood skewers or dowel rods. I would like to thank the hosts, Kathy Jo from Kathy Jo DIY and Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY, and also this month's guest host, Mary from The Painted Peach. The links for their channels are in my description box below, so if you already haven't, go check out their channels because they are very talented. And also the playlist for this video with all of the creators is in my description box below, so go check that out and you'll get tons of inspiration. Okay, so here's my next piece, and we are to use dowel rods or skewers. So I have the dowel rods from Walmart. I have 4 of them, and I have this wood piece from Dollar Tree Plus. It was $3. I have some picks and leaves. I have antique wax, I have the knob. I have a little round piece, not that square one. And whatever kind of pit berries or, you know, whatever you like in your centerpiece. Now I left the paper on here just to give these dowel rods some stability. It's not paper, it's plastic wrap. And I'm just going to gather them together and put a ton of glue on top and hold it, and then put glue on all the corners on the inside. And then I just held that for a little bit until it set. I would absolutely use a super glue or an E6000 or something on this to make it permanent so it doesn't fall apart. Now I'm going to stain it using the Waverly Antique Wax. I watered this down a ton. I also have a little spray bottle from the Dollar Tree that I keep water in there. And I just put to paint some wax on here and then take a baby wipe and then wipe it off. I want this piece to be lighter, not darker. But as you can see, I just throw a bunch of stain on there and then I spritz it and then I take my baby wipe and wipe it off. It also spreads it. And I did that around the top. I didn't do it on the bottom, but all the sides. And I did it with the cubes here and the little knob. And I put these little cubes on the bottom as feet. And to get this piece to look decent, I found this little plastic, what do you call it? Napkin ring. Yes, napkin ring from the Dollar Tree. And I just put some jute around it. I wrapped it around the whole entire napkin ring. And when I was done with that, I just put that little wooden knob right in there, which I stained. I stained all these pieces. And that knob fit in there perfectly, so I threw some hot glue in there. And now I'm going to put a bunch of glue in there and glue this on the top. And obviously, again, use a stronger glue like an E6000. And I have a little round piece here. I showed you square in the beginning, but I used a round one. I changed it out. I like the round one. I glued that on top. I have these flameless candles from the Dollar Tree. I think they came out the fall time last year, and a bunch of picks. And I am just going to put these down. I'm not going to put foam in there. You can if you want. I'm not going to glue them down. You can if you want, but the piece is already made, and now I'm just decorating it for the fall time. But if you don't make it permanent, you can take all those out and you can make a Christmas tray. You can make a spring tray. You can do a ton of stuff with this. This could be an everyday piece. So I just threw flowers in there. And I believe all of these picks are from the Dollar Tree. And I have some leaves that I threw in there, and that pumpkin. And that is it. Super simple, and you have yourself a gorgeous centerpiece. And you can add a bow or some ribbon in here. I did not. I liked it kind of plain. Here's my last piece. This is a lighted jar. The piece we're to use here is a bath mat, and this baffled me. I mean, I thought about putting it on a wood pumpkin and painting it, but I thought, no, that's too easy. So I just kind of went in another direction. I have the jar, I have some flowers, some ribbon, pit berries, some fairy lights, or you can use a tea candle, which is actually what I use. And make sure you have batteries if you use the fairy lights. I have a little tree stump from the Dollar Tree. They sell those in a bag. Mod Podge, Waverly paint, and pumpkin and truffle. And my little dabber here. So clean the jar really, really well. And if you run water on the bottom where that sticker is and set it on the counter for like 5 or 10 minutes, it'll peel right off. And so now I am painting this with, I said 2 coats. No, I put 3 coats on that. And make sure that you put Mod Podge or some kind of sealer on top of that. So now I'm going to cut out strips of this because I want them to look like little pumpkins going up the side of the jar. I don't know how to best explain this, but you'll see in a second. So I'm measuring it, how many pieces I need, and also the length of each piece, because it's going to go in between each section on the jar. And again, you'll see this in a second. This was so easy. And I cut out some of those little strands too, which I didn't end up using. I used just the big like bubble pieces. Now to paint these, I took some tape and I folded it over so it stuck onto this plastic wrap. And then I put my little bubble pieces there. As you can see, I used 3. There's like 3 little bubbles. I want these to look like pumpkins. That's the whole idea of this. And to get those to be stable, that's how I do it. I just threw it on some tape and they stick on there, and I put 3 coats. So let it dry between each coat, because if you try to put a second coat on, it's not dry, it'll just peel the paint right up. And then when this is dry, I put some Mod Podge on top of that to seal it in so the paint doesn't peel off of it or scratch off. And when that's dry, we're just going to remove those from the tape. And now I'm going to glue these onto the glass jar. So you are definitely going to need something stronger than hot glue. Hot glue in this case is needed because it's temporary, but the adhesive or the super glue or E6000, whatever you use, will hold that together because the plastic will not stay on the glass. And so I went and I put a strip on every other side. I don't know how to explain it, but you can see it. There's just a strip, and then I skipped a strip and then put another strip. So these, again, they're supposed to look like pumpkins. And I have the Dollar Tree lace here. And I just wrapped it around, glued it around the top just to give it, I don't know, some interest. And I have this ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and this is beautiful. It has 3 pumpkins on it, blue and green and orange. It's so pretty. And so I went in between each strip of pumpkins and I glued a strip on. And then I took the antique wax and I brushed it very lightly to distress the pumpkins. And then, yeah, I'm just telling you, I Mod Podged the lid. And then I put the little stem on the lid. And I have some green and this yellowish natural color raffia. I'm just taking a big chunk and putting a knot in the middle of it with both the green and the other natural color. And I'm just cutting it out, putting those pieces together and taking a piece of raffia and putting a double knot there to tie them together. And when I'm done with that, I just trim off the edges, and then I pull all these pieces apart to spread it out, and then I'm going to glue it right onto the top of the jar. And I lost this footage. You'll see. I didn't lose it. I bumped it, and it was filming my ceiling for a long time, and I didn't catch it. I'm really sorry, but I'm just going to tell you. I glued some pit berries on the top, the green and white ones, and I have wrapped them around a pencil and bent them in half, and then clipped them and put two of them on there, two pieces. And then I just made a shoelace bow out of the lace. And I'm just angling the sides here. So you didn't miss much. Just gluing the bow on there and the pit berries, no big deal. And now I have a button. This is from the Dollar Tree. And I put a big old button on there. And I thought it needed a little bit more, so I found these flowers. And I'm just gluing the flowers on here. And there you have it. I just put it on a candle holder. And here is the end where you can see all the pieces together. So I put a little tea light in there, not the fairy lights. So let me know, which piece do you like? Let me know if you're going to be making one of these. I'm just curious. These are super simple and very budget friendly. And there you have it. Thank you for your time and watching my video. I hope I've inspired you. Let me know which project is your favorite again, and if you'll be making one of these pieces. Also, please subscribe if you already haven't, and check out the playlist and all the talented creators. I'll see you real soon. Have a blessed day. Bye.